Hey, Isabella, did you see that Bill Belichick has filed for a patent with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office for a number of phrases, 14 in fact, including Chapel Bill parentheses Bill's version, the Bellastrator, and the Belichick way? I want to zoom in on Chapel Bill parentheses Bill's version.
Bill's version. I think I want it to be like Taylor's version. I would be curious to see what that would be.
Well, it's just like, call it Chapel Hill parentheses Bill's version. If it's Chapel Bill, we knew it was Bill's.
Chapel Bill, Jordan's version.
Oh.
What would that be?
Oh.
Also, I totally forgot about Chapel Hill in general. So my first thought was like, is this a spinoff of Chapel Roan?
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, that's fun. I wish. No, this is Chapel Hill, Chapel Bill. Do you want a sweatshirt when they come out, if I can find you one?
Honestly, yeah, I would get it.
Okay, all right.
Speaking of sweatshirts and Bill Belichick, I saw a TikTok the other day where it just like showed, it was like some cool music, and then they showed a bunch of Bill Belichick's like outfits from like years ago, and I was like, he's got some swag.
Yeah.
I don't know what era it was exactly, but I was like, he was dressed pretty nicely.
I'm going to assume he was cutting the sleeves off of his sweatshirts.
I don't know if it was that, but it was just like, he just had some really nice, like, you know, hoodies, and like he had like on a little jacket with his little crew neck.
I would love to see what you were looking at.
I'll send it to you after this.
I need to see, because I'm like trying to picture. I was talking.
It's like, imagine what like is now being sold in like secondhand. Like,
well, what's funny is I was talking to Dan. I was like, Bill Belichick's legacy is going to be these short-sleeved hoodies that everybody wears now, because he cut the sleeves off of his, but now they make them like that, and it looks so silly.
I didn't know that about him.
It looks so silly, but I would love to see what you think is him getting off a fit.
I was like, okay, he's kind of fly.
I love this. Oh God, I love this. Please don't fall for him.
I won't.
Thank you. Hello and welcome to Casuals, the podcast that's about sports. But is it? But is it though? I'm Katie Nolan. I'm your host. Got a great guest today, you guys. An active ball player. You love when you get an athlete who's currently in the league. We have Vinny Pasquantino from the Kansas City Royals. He's the first baseman. He's here to chat with us. It's very fun and very funny, and I'm looking forward to it. So we'll just hurry up with all the business up front. As always, you can email us, casualswithkatienolan@gmail.com. Our voicemail is 646-801-0043. On IG and TikTok, we are at Casuals, the podcast. Yap time. I'm just going to yap really quickly, and let me tell you, with it being Coachella, right? Coachella weekend 1 was last weekend. I had this take that I've been like, it's been bugging me, right? It's kind of AI related. And then I just opened up my Instagram, and there's something even bleaker that's AI. So I don't even know where to start. But this is maybe just a public service announcement. I opened up my Instagram and I clicked on my messages, because I have self-hate. And sometimes I want to see, the mean things people want to say directly to me. But when I got a little pop-up, when something new happens on an app, and it's like, check out this new feature. And the new feature that was being advertised to me said chat with AI. And I just feel like, I don't know, on an app that's like social media, why is Instagram in the talk to fake people game? I don't think that's the move. But then even bleaker, if that's not bleak enough for you, when I X'd that out, instead of it taking me to my messages where people are screaming obscenities at me, it took me to a splash that was like Discover AIs. And it has the list of the currently most popular AIs that people are chatting with. One of them is, I don't know, there's like one called Kendrick Lamar, which I wonder what if he had to sign off on that. But the little About Me section says, say Drake, which, I mean, it's okay that Kendrick Lamar did all the things he's done. It's okay that he went and he did the Super Bowl halftime show and called Drake a pedophile. I don't know if I need Kendrick Lamar's AI calling Drake a pedophile. That feels like a step a little bit too far. Then there's one called Emo Boy, Rocking Your World, 1 chord at a time. Okay, and then there's one called Stepsister. What's that about? Is that a musical artist that I haven't heard of? I'm going to well, maybe I won't Google Stepsister. There's one called Stepsister. Now, for context, Kendrick Lamar has 35,000 messages with people. Stepsister, 647,000 messages. What the fuck? The original yap here was going to be that I think live auto-tune should be illegal. And I think that's an important stance, so I'm still saying it, even though that Stepsister thing rocked me and is going to fuck up my whole day. Live auto-tune, when did we start doing that? That should be illegal. That if you are charging money for people to come see you perform music and you are incapable of performing music at a level that you're comfortable with, then you shouldn't be able to do that. You can't just go, well, I'll use a computer program that'll make sure I hit all the notes. I remember a couple years ago when I was in college, so it's probably like a decade-ish, 20 years ago. It was a couple years ago, okay, in my brain. Auto-tune itself, people were like, oh, this is controversial. Like, you're making people who can't sing sound like they know how to sing. For anybody who doesn't know, and I'm sure you do, auto-tune is the computer program that basically bumps your notes to where exactly they're supposed to be when producing a song. So if you were a little flat, you aren't anymore. It sounds perfect. And it was a little controversial in the music industry, and I was shocked to learn that now they have the technology to do that live. And I feel like sometimes Dan and I will turn on primetime regular TV just to see, just to like catch a glimpse of what happens on, what's the one where they wear the big mascot, Masked Singer. Sometimes we're just like, is this as dystopian as the commercials make it seem? Quick answer is yes. But I could have sworn on Masked Singer, they were using live auto-tune. And it's like, the point of Masked Singer is like that this person can sing and we didn't know that. Or that like, wow, what a great voice on this person. Live auto-tune, it's like you can't sing. You're just up there doing karaoke with help. That shouldn't be allowed to happen. And it just feels like at a time when everybody loves to throw around that phrase industry plant. I don't know if you guys have seen that in comments on social media, but whenever a new artist gains a lot of steam, I'm specifically thinking of like Doechii. Somebody will comment like, where'd she come from? Industry plant. And that's not how that works. But it does seem interesting to me that like at a time when everybody is trying to sniff out who the industry plant is, we're letting people use live auto-tune at their concerts, and we're chatting with AI on Instagram. They could make a pop star. The industry could make a pop star and put just a body out there that can't even sing, and people would pay money for it. That would be an industry plant. I don't know, man. I feel like it was just really scary. Watching Coachella, watching people use live auto-tune. Now, listen, if you want to use auto-tune as like let's say the way T-Pain did it, where it's like an artistic choice, it's like overly auto-tuned to make you sound like a computer, that's different. That's fine, I guess, as long as everybody knows. But I think there are really people who are out there just to see a concert that have no idea that you're not hitting the notes, you're faking it entirely. And listen, if you're insecure performing live in front of that large of a crowd, go home and practice. That's what the money's for. That's what the time is for. Instead of taking that brand deal where you have to go film a commercial, maybe stay home and practice singing. Maybe spend the money on a vocal coach. I don't know. That's the gig. That's the gig. I can relate to not being able to sing in front of that many people. That's why I don't do it. You see? So I just feel like live auto-tune should be illegal, especially with how much money they charge for tickets to stuff now. I don't know. Maybe that makes me crazy. It just is driving me nuts watching people be like, oh, I love this song. And just you can hear it. You can hear it. I don't like being lied to. And I don't want to chat with Stepsister. Please stop asking me. All right, now that we've scared away most of the listeners, let's go ahead and get into our interview. This was a really fun one. We recorded it on Monday, so it feels like it was a week ago, and I've been waiting for everybody to be able to hear it because Vinny is a blast, who accidentally ran into Dan, my fiance, like days before this interview. So it was a wild experience, but we had a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and get to that now. This is Vinny Pasquantino, the Pasquatch from the Kansas City Royals. Vinny Pasquantino, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Explain to me a baseball schedule, because I assumed today you had off. I was like, oh, Vinny's coming in. They must have the day off. But you have a game tonight.
Yeah.
And you said yes to this.
Yeah, we're in the city, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Just walk here. I didn't even have to, just walked over.
When you play the Yankees, they put you up, you're in the city?
Yep,
Like
we're
city
in
proper?
Midtown.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm allowed to say where we're staying.
No, you probably shouldn't.
Yeah. People still find it, though.
Is it nice?
Yeah, it's nice. Over
Yeah.
by the church, the big church.
Well, that's...
what is it, St. Patrick's?
Stop saying identifying information about
people
where
know
you're
where
staying.
we're staying.
This won't be out
It's
till
fine.
Thursday anyway,
Yeah.
so you'll probably
It's
be
fine.
out of there.
We'll be gone. Yeah.
Great. Fun thing about New York is when you get a nice hotel, it's still a tiny room.
Yeah, it's still not great.
Yeah.
But you can go get a bagel anywhere, which I like.
Yeah.
So come in late night, you can go get pizza or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's nice. The
really-
city's still awake.
I take that for granted. What's your life like on game day? Have you eaten today? Are you going to eat a bunch more? What's the food situation?
Yeah, well, New York's different because I go get bagels in the morning. Normally I don't do that. But yeah, this morning I had a pork roll, egg, and cheese at Utopia Bagels on 34th.
Okay. Shout out.
Went with a buddy of mine from college. We always go get breakfast when I come up here. So yeah, did that. And then I'll eat, I don't know, sometime at the ballpark later, like 2 or 3, and then eat a little pregame.
Okay.
That's it. Easy.
That makes sense. And then you eat after too, or?
Yeah, after. Although I don't like eating directly after games, like within 10, 15 minutes. So I wait around a little bit. And then,
Yeah. You got to let it settle.
yeah, but if my wife's in town, I got to bring her food too. So then a lot of times I'll eat after the game and then double after the game. It's hard for me to say no to food. Yeah.
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 You're Italian, so I assume
Yeah.
you like a nice Italian meal.
Yeah, lasagna is my go-to. Chicken parm's great. Spaghetti. I mean, really anything. It's hard to go wrong.
When I was little, I used to think that I wouldn't eat lasagna because Garfield ate lasagna. And so I thought it was cat food.
Yeah.
I missed out on lasagna for like the first
Yeah.
10 years of my life.
I hated steak until I was like 25.
What was wrong with us? What were we
Yeah.
thinking?
I know what was wrong with the steak. It was the way my dad cooked it.
Same.
Yeah.
All the way through.
Yeah.
It was like gray.
Why is it so chewy?
Yeah, same thing with pork chops. I was like, Mom, I don't think this is what these are supposed to taste
Yeah.
like. But we didn't die from foodborne illness.
No,
so
never died.
Thank you. Never
Yeah.
died. I've never died in my life. A random funny story I feel like we should tell. We've never met, but this weekend, obviously I knew you were coming in today, and I got a text from my fiance who was on the road with Shane Gillis in Cleveland. I had just watched your game that didn't go so well.
Did not.
Against the Guardians. And I got a text from my fiance, a picture of the two of you. And he was like, Vinny says he's excited for Monday. And I was like, what? And so you're a Shane Gillis fan. You and everyone else, I assume, Shane Gillis fan?
Yep. For me, it's a little bit more personal because everybody tells me I sound like him.
Yeah.
Like
What?
I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah. So we get a text being like, hey, you want to go over to see Shane Gillis's show? We end up hanging out with him after, and Dan and I are hanging out, and I'm like, hey, here's a fun fact. I'm going to do Katie's podcast on Monday. So
He was like, I
yeah.
was so excited.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Great night, fun guys.
Fun time.
Yeah, it was a blast. And the next day, personally, went much better for me.
Yeah,
at the plate.
you hit a home run.
Yeah.
Now, you may not know this, but that night you told Shane that you were going to hit a home run the next day.
No, Shane told me that I was
Okay.
going to hit a home run. Yeah.
Right. He told you, but you might not know this part. He put money on it because you told him, lock it in. I think you were just saying, you were like, I will do that. He put money on it, and then you hit a home run.
I heard about this.
So you
Yeah,
won
I
him a
heard-
bunch of money.
Yeah. So happy to help wherever I can.
Yeah. Completely. He didn't know that. That's completely
I
off
wish
the
I wish
hands
I
off.
could know when I was going to hit home runs.
Right.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But he called his shot, and I, of course, I'm like, yeah,
Okay.
duh. Yeah, I'm going to do that.
So now you guys are best friends? I feel like
I
that
think
makes
so.
you best friends.
Yeah, I think so.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a cool story. Yeah.
It's a cool best
Yeah.
friend to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the comments, people in the comments saying that
Every
I believe
interview I do.
discount Shane Gillis was
Yeah.
one of the phrases I saw.
Walmart Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I might know him too well.
Yeah.
But I don't see it. Is it hearing it? I'm supposed to hear
I don't
it?
know. I don't know. But I'm sure somebody will comment it on this.
Interesting.
At least once.
Yeah. Huh. Well, I guess compliment. You're
I'll
funny.
take it. Yeah, thank you.
They also, I saw one that said hotter Shane Gillis. So that's a double compliment.
I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, that
That's
you
a
should
very
take.
nice
He
thing.
should be upset about it,
Yeah.
but you should be happy. We've spoken about you before on this podcast. The Pasquatch. Are you wearing the chain
I am. Always have it on me.
every day?
Every day.
One of the better nicknames in Major League Baseball currently.
It's on here somewhere. Here it is. Which camera? Chris? Which
Chris, can you zoom in? Hey, Chris, can you get that?
right there.
Pasquatch. Where did this come from? Who gave it to you?
So much like a Sasquatch, I have no idea.
Yeah,
It's
good.
I think it was Ryan O'Hearn, who was a teammate of mine a few years ago. He's with the Orioles now. Or it was Alec Lewis, who was a beat reporter for us. Somebody at some point said Pasquatch. Like, O'Hearn still calls me Squatch every time I see him. And then the team, I got hurt. And then when I came back, the team posted like just this GIF of a Sasquatch. And it was like, rumor has it there's been a sighting of a Pasquatch.
Great.
And it blew up.
Great.
And then the team fully bought in before I did. And then we did like a commercial where I was walking in the outfield like a Sasquatch, and they posted that. It did well. And then the next year, the first time I get on base, there's a freaking Sasquatch walking around in left field.
Yeah.
And that's when it really took off.
People love that.
People love it. So then I bought into it, literally and figuratively. Like I own it.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Oh, you had to
yeah.
trademark it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Smart.
Yeah. So
Good business.
Just trying to make good business decisions.
Yeah.
So
Not
yeah.
me, but you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never made a good business decision in my life.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then it just took off, and so then I'm like, okay, fans like it, so I'll go with it too.
Do you feel like you can't ever shave your beard now? Do you feel like you have to stay like a hairy guy?
So this is new. Like,
Yeah.
I've grown facial hair before, but I have terrible facial hair. I'm like 3 months into a beard right
It's
now.
not it's not terrible.
It's tough.
It's a beard.
And the hair was a negotiation from me with my wife. She hates. I don't know. My father-in-law's here. I don't know how you feel about my hair, but your
Thumbs
daughter
up, thumbs
daughter
down?
hates it. So for the wedding, I had
He's
to
not
go.
saying thumbs up, so I feel like he agrees with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's staying neutral.
For our wedding, I had to go clean shaven with short hair, and I told her, okay, but at some point I'm growing it out. Like it's happening, and this is when I cashed in on that. Was
Smart.
this year. So, and it fits the character too. So maybe I got to keep it.
You do. Speaking of which, you also have to get whoever it is that updates Wikipedia's. Yours needs to be updated because I thought I had an ally in the long engagement fight. But yours just says that you got engaged. It never says you got married. But then I saw you did within a year, the normal way. You did it normal.
Yeah, we did it the normal way.
Yeah, that's fine.
She went to work and she got it done. So it was
Yeah,
awesome.
she went to work. See, it's never, I would have felt sometimes you just want to hear a guy go like, yes, I also participated in the planning of I'm not organized. Planning a wedding stresses me out. I'll do it eventually. The Royals, everybody talks about the Royals like they're the young, fun, goofy young bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that playing for the team? Are you guys having a good time? I mean, you play professional baseball for a living, so I imagine that's pretty fun. But are you this fun, goofy team that we think you are?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think it more so stems from being younger. It's just always assume that there's not a bunch of grizzled veterans in there. I mean, there's some. But I also think that Bobby is very goofy and that, he's the leader of the team. So we fit his identity. And he's the goofiest guy I know. So that very much fits his personality. So it fits our personality.
And you guys are close, yes?
Yeah.
I saw a picture of you on your Instagram beating him in the race. I think we should let the record reflect. There was a point where you were at least at the very beginning.
I was ahead of him in a race at some point. Yeah.
You got a better start maybe than he did off the blocks. He's a fast guy.
Yeah, it's actually ridiculous. And I have a front row seat because I hit behind him. So I watch some of the hits he gets, and it's incredible the way in the conversations I have with catchers, because catchers are also slow like me. And it's almost like once a day. Can you believe that? I mean, that's just unbelievable. And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, now I just feel awful because like, all right, now I gotta go do something cool too because what he does is just ridiculous.
Well, all you really have to do is put the ball in play, and he can pretty much score. He's so fast.
You just described my mindset at home plate.
Yeah.
Just give him a shot to score.
Yeah.
That's my job.
Well, aren't you like nasty with runners in scoring position? I feel like it might be helpful that one of the runner who's ahead of you is usually a pretty fast guy.
Yeah, the way we build our team is typically on speed and defense. Just throughout history, the Royals have built their teams like that. So me and Salvador Perez pretty much just clogging up the base paths, but everybody else can run. So we just put the ball in play and let those guys run.
Have you ever had a really bad experience running anytime in your baseball career where you're like, oh, I got in the most embarrassing pickle that like will never leave my mind, that has scarred me forever? Or like somebody was behind you running faster and needed to like push you because you were so slow?
So there's been a few. Last year we were playing the Phillies and I scored first to home on a double, and I thought I was going to die when I slid into home. I had to lay down at home plate for a little bit. Trying to think. I got thrown out at second by Jared Kellenick a few years ago. I thought I could get this double, and he threw me out by a mile. That sucked. Probably the most embarrassing was in spring training this year. It was my last spring training at bat. All spring, I'd just been grounded into double plays, left and right. So Salvi was so mad, like not really mad, but he's like, I'd be done with the game. It could be like the fifth inning or something. I could leave. He'd be like, well, now I got to stay and get another at bat because you can't just not hit into a double play. Last at bat of spring training. Guy at first, I know it's my last at bat. I know I'm done. I hit a ground ball to first base, and I'm trying so hard to beat it out that I pulled my hamstring.
Oh, no.
So I started the season with a hamstring strain because I tried to beat a ground ball out.
Okay, but that's hustle.
Yeah, but it's
that's
spring
hustle.
Training.
That's what we're looking for.
It's funny you say that because if you go online, which is a scary thing to do as a professional athlete.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
It goes both ways. It goes, man, look at this guy hustling like he's playing the game hard, which is like 10% of the comments, and the rest are, you're slow as all get out. Like, why are you running any time at all?
Okay, but if you didn't run, then they'd be like, this guy doesn't care.
Yeah,
this guy doesn't care. Mm-hmm. They want you to play the game the right way. Yeah. I think it was cool. I think it's cool that you pulled your...
It's crazy. Like, but the last at bat of spring training, I walked off the field. Like, it was tough. Tough scene, but that's all right.
How often are you, be honest, or don't, how often are you looking at internet comments in regards to you on any forum?
In regards to me, not that often. Like I go online, but my name is like muted.
Good. So smart.
Yeah. So I see some things, like if I follow somebody, I'll see it, but if I don't follow them, hard for me to see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Don't be out here searching your name.
Yeah, I got asked a question the other day, which I thought my response was just, the question was, how much do you watch baseball? And I said, well, it depends on how good I'm playing. Nice. Like,
that's very funny.
If I'm playing awful, I never watch because I can't take it. But if I'm playing well, I watch and be like, yeah, this is easy. When
you finish a game, do you like watch... Like, are you guys going home and watching Quick Pitch after a game? Like, how do you get caught up on what happened?
It's always on in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
24/7. MLB Network is on.
Yeah.
So, and then I think all the hotels we stay at have to have it.
Yeah. Legally.
So I think there is like actually some sort of contract.
They should give you like a login for
we do.
the.
We get one.
Good.
Yeah. See, I put it on every once in a while just to see what's going around the league, but I check a lot of box scores just to see what my friends are doing.
I don't know if you'll want to answer this honestly, but is there are there players across the league that you like to watch?
Yeah. There's a few guys around the league that it happens when I DH a lot. If pregame when I'm getting ready, like 10 minutes before the game, we'll have another game on the TV. Certain guys are hitting, like I'll stop and watch their bat and then get back to getting ready.
Like who?
Harper's one of them for me. It's a lot of left-handed hitters. So like Harper, Yordan Alvarez, Shohei, Freddie Freeman, those are probably the four. So if I'm watching the Dodgers, I'm basically just watching the whole game.
It's all people that look like baseball action figures.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani. We talk about him a lot. Isabella, one of our producers here, not a sports fan, but the whole goal of this podcast is to kind of try to help her fall in love with all the different sports that we cover. And we've talked a lot about Shohei because we feel like he's going to get her into baseball.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to be a top 10 famous athlete in the world, right?
Yeah.
Probably higher than that.
So good.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Crazy.
I did see a tweet last night, actually, that said, Shohei Ohtani has been awful at the plate. So I was like, so then I was like, oh, has he? Like, wonder what he's doing. So I go check the box score of the game. He was like 0 for 4 or something, but he's hitting 290 with like a 900 OPS.
You're right.
Which, Isabella, that's very good.
Yeah, Isabella.
I was just about to ask, is that real or is that just a hater tweet?
That's just a hater tweet.
Oh, okay.
A simple hater tweet. So that's the positive you can take from that is if Shohei Ohtani is getting crap, then I'm going to get crap no matter what.
Like
so.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
There's no perfect, because he's perfect.
Yeah.
Is that frustrating to know a perfect baseball player exists, or is it inspiring?
Both. Because you watch sometimes, you're like, man, why can't I do that? Like it looks so, We play the same game, I think.
Technically,
Yeah.
I have all the tools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's both at the same time. He once beat me to first base.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I was
that
going to ask
sucked.
you about that.
Yeah, that sucked. Yeah, there's an embarrassing speed moment.
What was
for
that?
me.
Was a grounder?
It was a ground ball to first base in Anaheim in
Yeah.
2023. I took a bad route on the ball, and he just straight up beat me to first base.
Well,
That's also a hit that I will never get.
where you beat the
where
first
I beat
baseman
the
to first base.
the base. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. But it's okay. Everybody has their strengths.
Yeah, and everybody has some sort of weakness.
That's right.
Yeah,
What's his?
he swings and misses.
Sometimes.
Sometimes,
He does.
yeah.
He doesn't hit every time.
Yeah,
Shohei, there's
Yeah.
always room for improvement.
but then people would argue that he probably shouldn't. He should swing and miss because he's taking his shots. So.
Yeah. Is he going to pitch this year? Is
I
he
think
coming
so.
back to doing that?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, because it's crazy.
Yeah, well-
Doesn't he have enough?
That's probably his motivation is just being able to do stuff that no one else can do.
Amazing. Crazy and amazing. We've arrived at the part where we have to talk about the Jets.
Yeah, bring
You're a big vocal Jets fan. I saw that you were the first. Explain to me what happened with the Justin Fields news, because I saw you say you broke it.
I broke the news.
Okay. Did you really break the news?
I broke the news.
Where did you get, what's your source?
Good insiders don't reveal their sources.
Of course, it's good. Those good insiders always say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you came across.
So, okay, to be completely honest, obviously I had nothing. I did get a few texts though that morning.
Yeah.
From like people I trust, not necessarily within the organization.
Sure.
But like, what are your thoughts on Fields? What would you think about that? So it got to the point where there were so many text messages. I'm like, he's coming to the Jets for sure. So then I'm thinking in my head, all right, Madden. If I'm playing Madden, what are me and Justin going to negotiate? I'm like, I don't know. You can't really give him like $50 million a year. You're probably not going to give him like 40, but you want to take a flyer on the guy. 2 and 35. That's what I'm going to guess. 2 and 35.
So full guess, informed
guess.
by Madden experience.
And then we're in the clubhouse. We have a game that day. I think we were playing Cleveland. And Bobby just goes, "You should tweet that out."
Chaos agent.
I'm like, I'm in.
Sure.
So Annie Rogers, who's one of our beat reporters, she helped me word it
Great.
so like it would look more legitimate.
Perfect.
And then I tweeted it out, and obviously, people were like, haha, whatever. And I'm coming out of the shower, and somebody goes, "You nailed it." No, but what are you talking about? Like Justin Fields to the Jets, it was like 2 and 40, whatever it is. And the dopamine hit like nothing could have gotten me down that day.
Yeah.
Because I'm one of the better days of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you just make a call like that and then you kind of are confirmed.
I felt like Babe Ruth calling a shot.
Right.
Really. I mean, that's what it felt like. It was It was unbelievable. I got texts from people in the building after that being like,
"How'd you know?"
Yeah, like what? Like, how did you know? And like, don't worry about me.
Don't worry about me.
So people then assumed that I was friends with Justin Fields.
Okay.
I'm not.
Oh.
Don't know him at all.
Oh, well, I'm sure this might clip this. We'll send this over to Justin Fields.
Yeah, a jersey I'm hoping will be on the way. I've got a lot of Jets jerseys.
How many?
Too many, probably.
Yeah. Well, one is too many.
Well, so last year in the whoa. Oh yeah, you're a Patriots fan. That's
right.
right.
That's right.
And they still stink.
Never forget. Well, and haven't we earned that?
Yeah.
Haven't we earned the right?
Well, that's what
You guys got to stink for so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's the Patriots' turn.
Yeah.
Maybe you can teach me what it's like to be a fan of an AFC East team that stinks.
Yeah, well, it's fun. Your Sundays will be filled with joy of watching other teams win games and wondering why your team can't. But not this year.
No.
This is
For you.
This is a year for the Jets.
Yeah? You think you really feel that in your bones?
Yeah, this is a year.
Yeah.
A year.
A season will happen.
Yeah, I tried to make a draft pick for them last year. We were in Detroit.
Yeah.
When they were in Detroit for the draft. Showed
Where
up
is it this year, the draft?
Green Bay. So I got no shot this year.
No.
Is it next weekend too?
It's soon. It's definitely soon.
Yeah. The Jets are going to take an offensive tackle.
Okay. More inside information.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
what I think, because I think they're going to just start running stuff like the Lions.
Yeah.
And they like offensive line.
Oh, because isn't your head coach the?
Yeah. and offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And then the
Came from the Lions.
the GM's from the Broncos. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll be there no matter what.
You don't think they're going to take a people were talking about they might take a quarterback.
No, they're like, where's the camera? They're not going to take a quarterback.
Okay. Mark it down here. A lot of predictions.
Yeah. In the first round.
Oh, okay.
In the first round.
Not going to take a quarterback in the first round.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the Aaron Rodgers of it all as a Jets fan?
So I loved it at first.
Okay. You had high hopes, I'm sure.
Very
that it was
high
going
hopes.
to be.
Very high hopes. And then by the end, I was just worn down.
Yeah.
Just weathered. People always ask me if I liked the documentary. Did not watch it.
I didn't watch it either.
I got nothing against Aaron Rodgers as a person because I don't know him. That'd be unfair for me to have something against him. But by the end, it wasn't fun for me as a fan. I appreciate everything he tried to give to the organization.
That's nice.
It just didn't work out.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
Well, what was it like that immediate his first season? The like highs of like Aaron Rodgers is here to the like he is hurt and it is done.
So I was hurt at the time. So I was at the game.
Was that your thumb or the one before the shoulder?
That was the shoulder
Yeah.
in 23. And the team was in Chicago, and they told me I could have the day to go to the game because I had season tickets. So I was in the middle of rehabbing. I knew I couldn't come back. So they gave me the day. I went back the next day to continue rehab, but I went in that morning to rehab. Then I flew out, went to the game. Met Vinny Testaverde. He's the reason why I'm a Jets fan.
Truly just the Vinny connection?
Yeah. That's the only reason.
When you're young, you really don't need much more than that.
No, that was it. Like, my dad's a Dolphins fan because of the colors when he was a kid.
Great.
I love these colors.
Sick.
I'm going to like them. So my dad and I
Weird
made very...
to pick a team in the same division against your dad.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. But I kind of root for the Dolphins when they're not playing the Jets.
Of course.
Respect to him.
Well, and now your dear friend Dan Soder is good friends with
I heard about that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's good. It's good. The Jets, I love them.
Yeah.
And that's really...
So you went to that, you said you went to that game?
Went to the game, met Vinny Testaverde. We were on the sideline. I was watching Rodgers warm up, and I was texting all my friends being like, this is unbelievable.
Oh, my God.
Like, cannon of an arm, just looks good in the uniform, runs out with the American flag. And then the worst part is I had to cell signal in the stadium. Yeah. So nobody knew what was going on. Everybody was just watching the blue tent. And then like you could hear like whispers of Achilles like going around the stadium. It's like, that's not good.
No.
That's not good. And then I'm going to come back this year. No, you're not.
No.
Like
medically, pretty difficult.
But if there was one person that would medically be like, I don't care,
yeah,
I think it would be him.
It just, at least it's enough of a question mark that when he says it, you go like,
maybe. I mean, I was telling all my friends that he's coming back, and like I am a diehard positive Jets fan.
I was going to say, so that defines you as a fan. Is you're the like, I'm going to cope.
There's a tweet out there. I'm pretty sure I deleted it, but I said like Zach Wilson is going to, I tweeted during 2023, like Zach Wilson will lead this team to future Super Bowls.
Oh my God.
And he's still got a shot, technically. He's still in the league, so. And
so why do you feel that is? Why is that your relationship as a fan with the team? Because I think it's fascinating to stay positive.
Well, what's ridiculous is how I act during the week.
What?
Like I'll be talking to my wife, like it's like the biggest Jets game in 20 years coming on this weekend, and I'll just be like freaking out all week. Like I go into workout, like there's a few guys, a bunch of football fans. All we do is talk about football, and I'm like, yeah, dude, this is the week. Like the Jets are going to take off, everything. And I think it's just because I buy in so much that I'm like, I got no choice but to be positive.
Right.
Because if I'm negative, like this Steelers game last year on Sunday Night Football, it was Devontae Adams' debut with the Jets. And then it went south quickly, but I'm always doing the math of, okay, but if they can just get a quick score here, quick stop, quick score, like we're right back in this game.
Yeah.
And then it's like you never are.
No.
No, you're never back in the game.
And you never hold that against the Jets. That's never.
No.
You've never been like, I hate this team.
No, not once.
Not publicly.
Because I love them.
You love them.
Yeah. I don't even, and the only reason is because of Vinny Testaverde. But I feel like.
It's very tenuous, if I will, a very tenuous relationship.
How old am I? I'm 27. I've given 25 years of my life to this organization. I'm not going back.
You were 2.
Yeah.
You were 2 when you fell for this team.
Yeah.
And you trust your 2-year-old judgment.
I trust myself. Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
If you don't trust yourself, who can you trust?
Okay, so give me the positive spin on finding out your team was using Madden ratings.
To be honest, just kind of like, I get it. If you're, because let's say you own a team, right? You probably just like the sport or you like money. So
Yeah.
you don't really know.
Or your daddy liked the sport and then you got it.
Fair. So you probably don't really know a whole lot about like the ins and outs. Like I feel like football IQ wise, I'm in the same spot as a lot of owners. Maybe a little higher.
Oh.
That's rude. That's rude. But like,
but they're so rich. They've got all these resources.
They've got a lot of stuff going on.
Well, yeah, but this should be one of their bigger things that's going on. They should put most of their time into.
I don't know
this.
You would hope so, but then it's like you have kids that play video games, and you're like, I'm just thinking about how the conversation went of just like, we can't trade for him. He's a 77 overall.
It just doesn't feel. I remember when I saw the news, feeling like that's not supposed to happen.
It just seems like the best organizations in football, the football people run the football part.
Yeah.
And the owners take the rewards for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enjoy what their expertise brings you.
Like, how is it going for Jerry Jones?
Not great.
Not great.
Not great.
Yeah.
Do you think Jerry Jones plays Madden?
No.
I don't
No,
either.
I don't.
But it would be pretty fun to play against him, I think.
I'd kick his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Isabella.
No, what?
Sorry, Chris. Sorry, I cussed.
Why are you apologizing to me?
Yeah, she's got a sailor's mouth. Also, in defense of Madden, it helped you become an NFL insider. So
you said it.
You can
These games are getting real realistic.
I know.
Yeah.
That's when I stopped playing them. When they became too. I liked it better when I was just mashing buttons.
Yeah.
Now I've got
did
a
that Friday night playing video games with Dan. And
Yeah.
Shane.
What'd you guys play?
Fusion
Oh
Frenzy.
Yeah. Apparently I don't know that, but I guess it's like a very social game.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was until the other night. Very fun.
Fun?
Yeah, very fun.
Because for a while they were doing like UFC.
They played that as well.
Was the game that they were playing, and that's too involved for a green room when people are coming and going.
Right.
So you got to play a social game like Fusion Frenzy, which sounds like an app, like a phone app game.
It does. Yeah.
What is it? Is it sport related? No.
There's like 90 mini games, and that's all it is.
It's like little arcade games.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you were good? You did good?
No.
No.
Shane's assistant, very good though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Grace.
Yeah.
Unbelievable at that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. She smoked you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even close.
Damn. I hope she's telling everybody she knows.
Yeah.
That she did that.
And then when she told people that, they'd be like, "Who are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Pasquatch.
Yeah.
He's famous.
Yeah.
Are you what? So you were a Jets fan because of Testaverde. Who do you have other? Do you like hockey? Are you a hockey fan?
I live in Nashville, so I kind of follow the Predators.
Okay, yeah. Have you ever thrown a catfish
I
on
have
the
not
ice?
seen it a lot. Never done it.
Yeah.
Looks fun.
Does it?
No.
The throwing of it, I think, does. The bringing of it to the stadium
It
does
blows
not.
my mind that it's like even allowed.
I know. Well, I think it's not.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like.
But it's fun.
But it's a fun weird
And then
thing.
somebody's got to clean it up off
I
the
know.
ice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand in hockey why with hat tricks everybody throws their hats
Since I was young, I was like, "What are we doing?"
because that's your own hat.
I know.
Now you don't have your hat.
When you have a cheap dad, you just he just fake throws it.
Oh,
and then at the
yeah.
end of the game, this was like when in like youth hockey, they would throw their hats too. And they would, collect them or whatever. And then at the end of the game, he would just wait by the bin of the hats. And if people didn't collect them,
Take
new
the hats.
free hats for Mike Nolan. So
That's great.
I was always
Yeah.
raised on pretend to throw your hat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does,
Well, you can't put your hat back on after you do that. Right?
No.
Where do you put it in your jacket?
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess he did hide it
Because you can't. I mean, you can't fake throw the hat.
and then have a hat
Yeah.
on. Well, what if you brought a second hat?
You didn't.
You could bring a catfish. You could bring a second hat.
I don't think you're bringing a second hat.
He wasn't bringing. We weren't allowed to own two hats. He's real
Just
cheap.
one- just
really
one hat.
cheap guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Did not want to give up the one family hat. What about basketball? Are you a basketball guy?
Yeah.
It's okay to not be. You can say no.
I don't have really an NBA team, but I like basketball.
So you're recruitable.
I'm recruitable.
He's
Yeah, I'm
recruitable basketball. Somebody could send you a jersey. You could become a huge.
Could be any NBA teams out there that need a professional athlete fan.
Yeah.
Here I am.
He's recruitable. Did you, as a, part of the Kansas City sports landscape, when the Chiefs are doing their whole thing, even though you're a Jets fan, I assume you partook a little bit
Yeah.
in the Chiefs of it
I'm
all.
a Chiefs adjacent fan.
Okay.
I support them with everything I got
Not with it can't be everything.
when they're not playing the Jets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So I've been to some playoff games, been to some games there. It's a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun atmosphere.
And I think I take it for granted that the team right next to us always goes to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because we got invited to the Super Bowl this year and said no.
Huh.
I think just thinking, oh, they'll be back.
Yeah.
We'll get invited again.
Hey, listen, you can get used to it.
Yeah. Like I always think about like, what if, just like the Raiders were going through this run right now? I would have no affiliation with any good football team.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. The Raiders. What if?
What if?
What if?
Yeah.
General baseball stuff. Torpedo bats seem to be the big talk of the season. I don't know if I care.
You shouldn't.
I shouldn't.
No.
It just feels like a technological innovation to help somebody who isn't hitting properly.
Well, so the original purpose, from my understanding, was to measure where a person hits the ball on the bat, then make that part of the bat bigger, therefore increasing their opportunity to get better contact because of where they hit the ball. And now they're just making these torpedo bats with no science to the person behind them.
Right.
So it's just a different way to make a bat.
Like you shouldn't be able to just pick one up and use it. It should be based off of your...
From my understanding
Right.
of how they talked about it after opening weekend.
Yeah. It just feels like where'd it come from? Why is it here now?
I guess it has been in the works for years.
Yeah.
And people were using it last year too. I mean, everything gets inflated when it's the Yankees, and then everything gets inflated when they do what they did the first weekend.
Right. And everybody's like,
So,
whoa.
No, they
new
haven't.
bats.
They haven't done that since.
Right.
Like in terms of hitting that many.
And
home
not
runs.
everybody who did that was using a torpedo bat.
Yeah, like
Right.
Judge just used one, and I thought his response to a question he got about it was amazing.
What'd he say?
They asked him, "Are you using this? And if so, like, if not, why not?" He said, "Well, I think my last year speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Like, or my career speaks for itself." I don't know his exact quote, but it's like, yeah, good response.
Yeah. I don't think I need it.
Yeah.
I hit quite a few on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It just feels like,
It's not cheating. Like,
right.
that's what I thought was funny about it is after the first weekend, it's like, oh my God, like here's the answer to all my problems is the torpedo.
Yeah, you
It's
still
like-
got to hit it.
It's like, yeah, you still have to hit it. And now there's some ways where it's like, now you've made your sweet spot down the barrel a little bit. What if they start pitching you away? Now you
Oh,
have
yeah. Now you have to somehow.
now you have less bat at the end of the bat. So do I start crowding the plate if I'm using a torpedo bat to then try to hit it off of that spot? Like I haven't done enough research on it because I'm not changing my bat.
Right. It feels to me like you should just fix your swing. If the barrel is not where the ball's usually hitting, change your swing.
I don't.
But I don't know anything.
And I don't know enough about that
Yeah.
specifically.
Well,
so
you know about hitting.
I know about hitting.
You're quite good at it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, a Raphael Devers-based question.
Uh-huh.
If you found out that you were only ever going to be DH, would you miss first base a little bit?
Yeah, DHing sucks.
Yeah.
And DHing, like, I thought the way that was handled was a little bit, interesting.
Same.
Because especially once you've been paid, it's kind of like,
You're getting paid a ton of money to be our third baseman.
but you also, when you're a guy like that, you've been the guy there, and then all of a sudden they sign somebody else to play your position. You were never really told anything because, like, why would they tell you anyway? Then it might have felt like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
So I understand that, but there's also the piece where you just do what the team needs you to do.
Right. And where like Bregman's so good as a third baseman that it's
Right.
like, okay, the numbers do reflect that you're the better choice. But I understand being like, I don't want to just hit.
Yeah. So DHing is I've never met somebody that like falls in love with DHing.
Yeah.
Because you just kind of sit there.
It's not like you're not like playing games on your phone.
So-
You have to stay engaged in the game, right?
I'm lucky because I DH'd in AAA before I came to the big leagues
Yeah.
because they kind of told me that's going to be your role, at least for the time being. So I learned how to do it. So my DH routine is dialed in now.
What is it?
I get to the park a little bit later. I start getting loose for the game a little bit later. And like, I don't necessarily lock in any less to the game, but I know how to move around during the game, go to the weight room. A lot of times I get my lifts in during the game so then I'm still moving. Because a lot of the times you'll sit there and then you get cold, then you try to go get loose again. And it's just, there's a it looks like it's just like, oh, it's good to go hit 4 or 5 times a game, but there's a lot of body like prep to do because you just go sit around for 40 minutes to an hour and then it's like, oh, I got to go hit again.
Yeah.
But it's great to be in the lineup.
Of course. It's
always
always
good
a
to be in the
blessing
lineup.
to be there.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where you ask somebody, what would you prefer to do? The answer is almost never DHing.
Right. It's also like if you're not getting a hit, then you're like, I'm not impacting this game in any way.
The only way you can help the team is if you hit.
Yeah.
If at bats like 1 through 2 through 3 go bad, it's like, but if at bat number 1 goes good, you're on top of the world because now it's like
I did it. I did what I had to do
did
today.
it, guys. Yeah.
The rest is house money.
Yeah, it's it is what it is.
A lot of pressure to just
like that's why like Shohei Ohtani winning the MVP as a DH last year
Crazy.
is insane.
Crazy. And like inventing the 50-50 club.
But,
it's like crazy.
Yeah. I also think too that one thing that gets lost is people like playing baseball. So when you're only playing half, it's like less fun.
Yeah. It really is like a perfectly, in my eyes, a perfectly designed game. It's like it's fun to play. Everybody has the right amount of like having to do it.
Yeah.
But
it's
also
not all
stand
about
and-
you
right.
versus like even pitchers, it's all about you for one day as a starter.
Yeah.
And then relievers, it's all about you when you're in the game.
Yeah.
But then on offense, it's all about you when you're hitting, but it's not the whole game.
Right.
Like, you look at football, it's like, okay, the quarterback's going to get the ball every single play.
Right.
Basketball, whoever your best player is going to get the ball. But in baseball, you're right. Like it's very evenly distributed.
And it's like a team sport, but with a lot of one-on-one moments.
Yeah. Well, and this is where I get frustrated with some of like the technology piece of the game, the analytic part of the game is like they put us all in the same buckets in terms of WAR, but we all play different positions that mean different things that like help the team in different ways. But then
Talk to me about WAR because I know Isabella has no idea what that is.
Like the card game?
No.
Yes.
So Isabella, WAR is wins above replacement. Replacement would be like I don't even know if you can say average because if you can be an average major league player, you'll play for 10 years.
But it is technically, right? The average.
Technically, your average player will be a 0, I think. So it's just like a counting scale. You play good, you have a positive. You play bad, you have a negative. It goes game by game, basically, and it's a total build-up at the end of the year.
They're trying to.
Wait, Katie, is it kind of like what you explained to me with the video games? Is it like the KD, like that?
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little
Yeah.
bit.
A little
It's
bit.
like basically I think the point of this stat, and please, if this is way off, I think what they're trying to calculate is how much better than the guy who could replace you are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, is this guy worth the money that we're spending when we could get a replacement player and he would only get us 0.8 more wins than that guy?
Yeah.
I'd be scared.
It's just kind of constantly being chased by a ghost of a person that could replace you.
Yeah, well,
you're-
that's sorry.
And then they say that if you're a 2 WAR through the course of a full season, you're a starter. If you're a 4, you're like good or an all-star or something. If you're 6, you're in the MVP range. Chris, you might know more on that than me.
He's like, nope, I don't.
But it's basically saying like how good are you compared to who could replace you at any given time.
Scary. Shouldn't exist.
Yeah, and the way they do it is like different positions have different positives and negatives towards WAR. So there are some positions that you take quite a hit for playing those positions, and there are some you get points for playing those positions.
What are the ones that are better for points?
I think in order it goes catcher, shortstop, center field.
Okay.
And then on the negative side would be DH, first base, left field, or right field, one of the two. So yeah, I have a personal vendetta against WAR. Yeah.
Dumb stat. What do they have against you? Why are they so mad at you?
Big dumb idiot, basically.
So?
Yeah, that's it.
So we
they
love big dumb idiots.
It's just a personal attack on me.
I know.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sick of the first base slander. Playing first base is difficult.
Yeah. Well, no, technically not. Technically speaking, it's the easiest thing to do in sports, I think.
All of sports?
Apparently, yeah. That's what they like to tell us.
Who?
They.
They. The big
Yeah,
they. Capital T they.
Yeah.
I think first base is hard because if you don't catch that ball, that's tough. If somebody makes a crazy play and you don't, like Tristan Casas the other day dropped an amazing play by Trevor Story. It was a couple days ago, and I remember being like, if I were Tristan Casas, I'd be like, I'm gonna jump off of a bridge. There's no
That's
chance.
how it feels. That's how it feels.
What am
yeah.
I like? Do you apologize? Do you say sorry, or are they just like, don't talk to me? You dropped the ball.
It's a tough situation. You got to read it player by player. It is not it is not the most fun feeling when you mess up a play like that.
Yeah.
Because it's just your fault. Like
Right.
it's just straight up your fault. Just catch the ball.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I hate that. I hate the thought of that feeling.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
And yet you go out there.
And then
you just
sometimes you'll be at a stadium where like there's white signs in left field or something. So when the shortstop throws you the ball then blends in with the sign.
no.
I'm just complaining now.
No,
but,
this is good.
like,
What stadiums? We should put out a notice so they stop doing that.
I'm trying to think of some of the
Not Fenway.
not Fenway.
That Green Monster's
Yeah.
nice to find that ball.
Yeah. But then there's some stadiums too that have like lighter seats. So then if nobody's at the game, you really can't see. And
Yeah.
during the day, I'm again just complaining. Very grateful for my job. I love it.
Totally. All that goes without saying. Put the disclaimer on
yeah,
the screen.
Yeah.
So grateful and happy to be here.
Yeah.
But if you had to say which stadiums you hated the most,
I mean, my least favorite is the White Sox.
yeah.
Guaranteed rate.
It is the worst stadium. It's just rate now. They got rid of the
it's just
guarantee,
rate.
which is hilarious to
Yeah.
me. They somehow made it worse.
Well, the Cavaliers just did that with their stadium. It used to be like Rocket Mortgage Stadium or something, right? And now it's just
something.
Rocket or
weird.
Mortgage something.
Just mortgage stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stadium, it needs to go. That's a mess. Like internally, a mess.
Yeah, the people who work there are great.
Great.
Like the people are great.
Great.
The stadium just
A mess.
yeah.
A really bad mess.
Yeah.
Do you have a second least favorite?
Well, I am 0 for like 27 in Milwaukee, so so I think Milwaukee's on that list. Simply
Is that where
because of
they have a
that.
slide? Is that the one that
Yeah,
has
they
the
have a
slide?
Yeah, they have a slide.
Damn, you can't hit in Milwaukee.
Can't.
What's that
Literally
about?
cannot hit Milwaukee. Yeah,
What's that about?
no idea.
Maybe you need beer?
Maybe. It's worked this week.
It's possible. It could happen. Seeing Vlad Guerrero get $500 million to play your position, does that get you getting excited? Does that
Yeah.
mean you're up next?
If I could be, at this point in my career, if I could be 5 years younger with like a second or third MVP place and a few more career years coming, I'd be in a really good spot.
I think you're in a good spot right
But
now.
I think I'm older than him, which that makes me sick a little bit.
Not by much. If anything, not by
It can't
much.
be by much.
No.
I think Chris, do you know? the
He's
answer to that?
26.
Yeah, so I'm a full year older than him. then.
Yeah. Well, and
that's-
I'm a full 10, 11 years older than you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we have no value as we age.
None, actually. You hit 30 apparently, and that's when the cliff comes.
Yeah, that's what they say to us
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Women and baseball players, we have a lot in common. But you're doing well. How does that feel as a player? Do you feel that coming up? Are you like, I have to get to a certain spot by the time I'm 30? Or are you just out here playing baseball?
Both.
Yeah.
I think there's times where you go back and forth of how you feel about things of like, oh, I want to get paid, or it doesn't matter. I'm playing a kid's game. But there's also a piece where you want to help set your family up, for as long as you can.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of added pressure that, but like my wife doesn't care. She's
Good.
just like, just go play.
Sick. She
Yeah.
was an athlete.
She was an athlete. She played soccer at Old Dominion. But like sometimes she doesn't even know we have games,
I mean, you guys have games every
which is hilarious.
day.
Spring training's the worst because I'll be like, hey, I'm going out to the game. You have a game today? You probably feel the same. You have no idea. You know, you always know. Yeah, you always know we have games. Yeah, so she's the best when it comes to that. Like she takes the pressure off 'cause she's like, okay, you
Yeah.
didn't get any hits tonight.
Yeah. So
So
that's the best.
Let's watch TV.
What are you watching?
Currently, I'm ripping through Modern Family.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
was
kind of random.
not
but
expecting that.
Yeah, that's what I like 30-minute comedies. I've watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine probably 100 times. That's what I fall asleep to every night.
yeah. That's like 30 Rock in our
Yeah.
house. It's like our fall asleep
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
It used to be The Office, Parks and Rec. Wife doesn't like Parks and Rec. So we're on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's been going on since 2023.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you watched Veep?
No.
Veep's good. Is that 30 minutes? Might be an hour. I think it's 30 minutes.
30-minute
watched that,
shows
like,
are the best where I
watched
don't
that,
really
like,
have to pay attention.
4 times.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
very
I guess
funny.
I went through Suits pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, I never watched Suits.
Yeah.
That's a lot of seasons, isn't it?
A lot of seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too deep for me to go all the way back into.
Yeah.
But always interested to know what baseball players are watching on
Yeah.
TV. What percentage of what you watch is like sports content?
In the off season, all the time.
Yeah?
All the time. Football.
All the time.
During the season, not so much.
Are you in a fantasy football league?
Yeah.
Are you in a number of fantasy football leagues?
Yeah, I'm in a few dynasty leagues, and then the best one I'm in is we do a guillotine league with the Royals, which is amazing.
What's a guillotine league?
Well, first we do a regular league, and then we do a guillotine. The guillotine is 18 players join, who you don't play anybody, but whoever has the lowest score at the end of every week, you're done. You get whacked, guillotined, and then those players go into
Literally.
Yeah.
Yes, they kill them.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
So then those players go into free agency. You get a certain amount of money every year. And when you spend that, then you like auction style, whoever bids the most money gets that player.
Huh.
But then when that money goes out, you don't get any back. So when you get to $0, you cannot make any moves. And every single player, even if you just pick them up on waiver wire, costs at least $1.
Huh.
So that when you're out of money, you can't make any moves. So somebody bid, I think last year ours was $200. Somebody bid $150 on Christian McCaffrey after week 1. That sucked.
Yeah. Wow, that's complicated.
Yeah. It's not that complicated, but it's probably like craps. It feels really complicated until you know how to play
and
the
then
game.
you're like, this is easy. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And have you ever won the guillotine
I
league?
finished 4th last year.
Damn, not good.
My team was stacked.
Not stacked enough.
Not stacked enough.
Not stacked enough. What about the regular fantasy league? You ever win that?
It's not even fun,
No.
really. I've never won that. That one ends up not
You've
being
never
fun.
won it?
No. Well, I've only been in the big leagues for 4 years, so.
It's a lot of years.
Or this will be fantasy league number 4
Right.
this upcoming year.
And you've never, this is your year, I think.
I think so too.
When you draft your fantasy teams, do you like let your fandom get in the way? Like, are you taking Jets players or are you like separation of church and state?
No, I'll take the players if I think the value's there.
Yeah.
But like last year, I took Breece Hall at 4. I thought that was going to be like the pick of the draft.
And was
wasn't.
it?
It wasn't. No.
All right. I've won my fantasy league. Here's the problem. Once you win, the next year you're like, I don't really want to do this anymore because now
Yeah.
I got to go backwards.
Yeah.
Once you win,
You
you're like,
can't go
I
forward.
did it. I'm not going to win again.
Yeah.
It was a fluke, but I'm going to pretend it was, all my hard work paying off.
Yeah. I was in a league once, a vampire league. I won that league.
What's a vampire league?
Vampire league is awesome too. So-
You bite each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's freaky.
You got to have a taste for blood.
So 12 people, 11 teams draft. 1 team does not draft. That team then, using the waiver wire after the draft, picks up all the scraps, essentially, all the rest of the players.
How many teams? There can't be that many teams in the league for there to be scraps after the draft. It has to be like a 10-team league.
No, 12 teams. But then if you're the vampire, you're the team that doesn't draft. So
Right.
you pick up all the players. If you beat a team, I can have any of your players.
Oh.
Any of them. So one year I was the vampire, I think it was 2 years ago, and my waivers, like Puka, like guys who didn't get drafted, hit big.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden at the end, I called
That's
my
kinda
team.
fun.
I called my team the Avengers. It was awesome.
That's actually kind of really a fun idea.
Well, it's fun if the vampire can win. But
Right.
if the vampire doesn't win, then it's like, oh, it's just a normal fantasy
You're also
league.
kind of rooting for injuries, I feel like.
Never root for injuries. But like
The nature of that league.
they don't hurt.
Well, they do, but they don't hurt
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. It's crazy.
You are so into fantasy that you know leagues I've never heard of.
Yeah. I'm dialed in. I mean,
Yeah.
we like, for instance, I have time to do this podcast today. We have some time on our hands.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true, I guess. And you've got a group of guys baked into your job. You're a team. So it's like
it's basically like just being around, if you count staff too, it's like being around like 60 guys every day.
yeah.
Yeah. Just doing nothing but hanging out.
Are there any teammates you have that like don't like sports, that obviously like baseball but aren't really into?
Yeah, it's a lot of like the country Southern guys. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That don't play fantasy football.
Yeah.
Don't really. They just want to be at a farm somewhere.
Yeah, baseball, farming,
Yeah.
church.
Yeah.
Those are their
Exactly.
hobbies. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you talk to them about?
Just life.
Baseball.
Yeah, baseball. How's the arm feeling? How's the swing feeling? All right, I'll see you.
Okay, good talking.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I care about how you feel about robot umps.
I actually kind of don't hate it because
Right.
it can. For me, I don't think you should be able to like if a ball is like a centimeter outside the zone or inside the zone. I don't think that should be changed because do we even know that the technology is correct? But I like
Yeah.
it if it's just an egregiously bad call,
which every now and then
it happens.
Right.
And the guys will admit, like the umpires will be like, I don't want to mess up calls.
Right.
Like I'd like to get them right too, but sometimes I see things and perspective gets changed. Like, so I like it for that aspect, but I do think it'll be funny when it comes to the big leagues because some guys are going to be so bad at it that think they're going to be so good at it.
Yeah.
Like teams are going to have to ban guys, like specific players.
Yeah,
from
like
being
you
able
are
to-
no longer allowed to
You're
challenge.
not allowed to challenge.
Because
Or-
every time you do it. Because
Yeah.
you get 2, or at least that's
you
what
get-
it was,
you
right?
get 2.
But if you get it right, you keep the one you've
Yeah.
used.
But so like pitchers should never be allowed to do it because
No.
they think everything's a
Everything's
strike.
yeah, of
we had a
course.
reliever in spring training come in, and we'd kind of talked about it, being like pitchers shouldn't do this. I swear to God, it was his first pitch, and he challenged it, and it was like 4 or 5 inches out of the zone. It was crazy.
It's like you don't even know where we are in the game. You don't even have a sense of the umpire yet.
right.
You can't say he's squeezing you
also,
as the first
the
pitch.
catchers are pretty good at making things look like strikes.
Right.
So maybe just trust that guy. If he's not challenging it, then you probably shouldn't either.
Yeah. Huh. Do you think they're going to go full robot ump at any
No.
point? Get rid of the
No, I don't think so because I think the umpire union would not like that at all.
True.
So we have to negotiate with them too. So.
I would also argue you need the body. You need the physical body to
Well, and if there's no umpire, then the value of a catcher will then be very discussed.
Yeah,
because that's what those guys they grind all off season to be better at making pitches look better.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden you could make the argument that okay, then we should just put anybody back there because if they just have a good arm, we're just using them there to throw people out, which I think would be massively unfair to the guys who are really good at that part of the game.
Yeah, because it's a skill.
It's a skill.
An interesting skill. Fascinating skill.
Yeah.
And that would be getting rid of part of it. Also, I just feel like umps do more than make calls. They also get screamed at. You need a person
need a
to
good
scream
argument.
at.
You need a good argument.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to
So-
be able to. Schwarber needs to be able to get in somebody's face.
If he can't, then what are we doing this for?
And you don't want to get him in the catcher's face. Then it's between the two teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need a third party.
I actually think there would be somewhat more arguments if there was a robot, like especially if we were doing the challenge system, because you could be like, all right, I'm challenging this. I'm telling you this is going to be a ball. And then if it's not a ball, the umpire looks at you and be like, told you.
Yeah,
And now all of a sudden, now it's getting personal
that's true.
because it kind of gets personal sometimes. It feels like anyway.
Yeah,
But
it certainly does. It has to.
yeah, but I get to talk to him at first base. So like one of the things I love about first base is I get to see everybody at their best.
Yeah,
Because when guys get hits, they get to first base or they walk or something. So I get to see them when they're feeling
they're on
good.
base. They're feeling themselves.
And the umpire at first base isn't locked in on calling strikes and balls, so he'll talk too. So it's interesting. Like playing first base is so much fun because you just get to talk to everybody.
It looks like a podcast.
It basically is. Yeah.
Like it just looks like you get to chat with whoever's there. Or do you ever get people on first base who just don't want to talk to you?
Yeah, there's some guys that don't like to talk, and I swear once a game I'll hear from somebody, man, I needed that hit.
That's great.
It's like we all need them.
Yeah.
We need them every time.
Yeah,
If I get hit every time, I would still need that hit.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you can relate
amazing.
to them, even though they're your enemy. In that moment, you're like,
you can feel
I
them
get it.
like relax sometimes.
Yeah.
If like it's been a tough week or something, they kind of like they'll bloop a hit in or something, and you kind of see their body like, oh, like thank God.
That's
I
so
got a hit.
relatable.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. Also, it must be great. Just a great environment for jokes. I feel like jokes must really kill
Yeah.
with guys who are very happy and just got a hit. You're probably
Yeah.
killing at
Yeah.
first base.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a blast sometimes. Because you can just, especially once you start to get to know people around the league too, and then you see them multiple times, and like it's probably my favorite part of the job.
You're never like talking wild shit to the people at first base, are you? They're never
No.
like getting to the base and you're like, I hate you, you stink.
No, if you don't like somebody, you just don't talk to them.
Yeah. Has anyone ever tried to talk to you and you shut it down because you're not into it?
No, I don't think so.
Too personable of a guy. I
Yeah.
could tell once I asked
Just-
that. I was
I
like,
just
you're
like talking.
You'll talk to
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah.
Like a golden retriever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good. I'm glad
Yeah.
you took it as a compliment. What kind of dog do you have, by the way? Bear is
German
a
Shepherd.
German Shepherd.
Yeah.
And in the pandemic, you worked at a dog
At
rescue.
the end of the pandemic and then going into the next year, I worked at a dog daycare.
What do you do working at a doggy daycare? What's the job?
Essentially the job description is don't let the dog fight and pick up their poop.
And poop.
Yeah.
Well, that's like having a dog.
Yeah.
Don't let it fight. pick up the poop.
Same thing.
Those are the things.
Yeah.
All right, before you go, I know you're a big professional wrestling fan, and we got WrestleMania coming up. I try my best to stay up to date on what's going on. I'm not a pro wrestling fan, but I'm obviously married to or about to be married. Someday I'll be married to a gigantic pro wrestling fan. So do you have any predictions, since you are an insider who, has exclusives? Do you have any thoughts about what is going to happen at WrestleMania?
Are you talking about the main match or
any of the match? I have them all here in front of me. And of course, I have them memorized. I know everything about them all. But like AJ Styles and Logan Paul on night 2.
No offense. Couldn't care less about that
Really?
one.
Good.
Like AJ Styles, not a massive Logan Paul fan.
You don't say.
Not really a Logan Paul fan.
What about the other Paul?
No, not really. They make
didn't.
money, so good for them.
They sure do.
And they've duped me into buying some of their fights before, so.
Oh, same. I thought you were going to say it like some of their products.
No.
Like the Lunchables or whatever they're called.
No.
No, good. Smart. I think we're on the same page when it comes to the Pauls. You don't have to be, I'll shield you from the honesty.
They're fine.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're fine.
No, maybe we're not on the same page then. Are there any matches that you're fired up for?
Though, I mean, the main one, the Cena versus Cody.
Of course.
And it's mostly from my childhood fandom of John Cena.
Right.
So I hope he destroys him.
Yeah. I think we're the only people who want that. Everybody's kind of rooting for Cody Rhodes.
Well, they should be. He's the good guy.
Sure. But at the same time, that awful tattoo on his neck.
Yeah.
I was watching AEW when he came out with that tattoo. That song, that awful song and the awful tattoo.
Yeah, it's a tough tattoo.
It's tough.
Yeah. Good for marketing, maybe?
I guess. I guess.
Bad for getting a job in the 1990s, probably.
Yeah, bad for doing anything other than what he does.
Yeah.
But I guess you don't have to worry about that. Yeah. But yeah, I say go John Cena as well.
Yeah. Go John Cena. I hope. Yeah, and I want to see a bunch of shenanigans too.
Yeah. Like what?
I want The Rock. I want just everybody to kill Cody Rhodes. And then he can win the title back later in the year. I'm just in for the story, the Cena story.
No, you don't care about Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins?
I think it's good too.
Yeah.
I think it's good too.
I also like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Roman Reigns storyline is amazing. And then CM Punk's pretty good. When he came back, I popped. Like legitimately stood up when he came back.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to happen. I was supposed to be at that event.
What event was it?
It was Survivor Series in Chicago in 2023, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were supposed to go and you didn't go?
Supposed to go, but we had union meetings in Vegas like the next 2 days or something. So I was like, I don't really want to fly all around.
Those sound fun.
Yeah.
Union meetings.
Union meetings are very fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying to get on the same page.
Of course.
Yeah, because we've got a big fight coming in a few years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah. When's that?
After next season. Yeah. And they've already basically publicly said they're going to lock us out. So
good.
So that's in terms of public negotiating.
Yeah.
That's been pretty awesome to see that they don't really have an interest in negotiating. They just want to lock us out. Yeah.
Wow. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, and then what's really funny is the owners are really good at public perception. For some reason, all the fans side with the owners, and I think it's because they don't see the owners.
We have no idea who they are.
Yeah, so they just take it out on us and say that we're
too selfish.
Too selfish, yeah.
Too selfish. Yeah, I think that's something sports fans need to work on. I've been kind of banging this drum across all sports.
Yeah.
It's been kind of like when a guy gets paid, they're like, oh, well, he just wants more money. He's being selfish. And you're like, well, what's loyalty when you really think about it?
Yeah, so it's just tough. I don't know. That was a weird thing for them to come out and say. They're saying some crazy things like, well, we're going to get a cap. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. It's like, well, you're just saying that publicly.
Right.
Because we're not going to give you just things that you want.
Yeah. It's got to be a tactic. This is why I hate business and negotiating at all. Because people who do it all the time do something that I go, that feels crazy. Why are you doing that? And then you find out that it's because they've got some sort of next level reason they're doing that. Yeah. And you're like, I just want to play baseball.
Right.
Can I just play baseball?
Well, so then that would be the argument that fans would make to us of just being like, well, you should just go play baseball.
Where would I? Why? How would?
Instead
of locking out, instead of standing up for your.
They think that we should just accept any offer.
Well, that's silly.
There's a reason that there's a union. It's to fight for player rights, and it's not just about what's happening today. It's what happens when we retire and things like that. But that's the piece
your lives.
That's the piece that doesn't get talked about because we're actually trying to negotiate, not publicly just shame the other side.
Well, let me ask you one thing, and then this will be it, and we can go. But Jaron Duran in the I don't know if you watched the Red Sox documentary that they did for Netflix, but the big conversation around it was Jaron Duran coming out and admitting that he had struggled with thoughts of suicide and even had attempted to take his own life at one point. And I just want to make sure that, like, as a baseball player, do you feel like right now, if you were going through something, you have access to resources that the team provides? Because I know they say a lot of teams are like, we have a mental health person on staff. Do you know who that is? Like, in your mind, do you know who that is and how you would reach them? And do you feel supported in that way?
Yeah, ours travels with us.
Oh, great.
Her name's Melissa. She's with us.
Shout out Melissa.
She's great. Yeah, she's awesome. So yes, like with us, I would know where to go.
Good.
First off, shout out Jaron Duran for being willing to talk about that.
Crazy.
Because it's intense.
Very difficult to talk. Yeah. And hearing him have to do interviews, and you can tell he kept being like, I really didn't want to talk about it, but not talking about it is part of the problem. Right. So he's like, I'm trying to help, but please stop asking me about it. Yeah. And I get that.
Yeah. So, I think, to be honest, I think the Royals are a really good organization. I'm not just saying that because I'm in the organization, but they actually give a shit about us, which is super cool. Like, we just talked about the owners for a little bit. Like, I know our owner pretty good. I think he's trying to do good things for the game of baseball. He is not on the owner committee anymore. Like I think there's probably a reason for that. So I think we do things very well. I think if something was going on in any one of our guys' lives, we would know where to go to talk about it. And the union does a good job with that too, from the player side of, we have people too. Agencies are doing a better job. So mental health is definitely something that teams and guys, individual teams are paying attention to more, which I think is really helpful for everybody. Because it's you go 0 for 4 and then everybody hates you, and you go 4 for 4 and then everybody thinks you're the best player alive. So there's just a lot of range of emotion that I think as you get older within the game, you learn how to control more, because it's like, I could go 0 for 16 and then go have a really good game and we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that you kind of have to get through to understand. It's just one of those things you got to go through the mud a little bit to be able to really be able to get out on the other side.
Yeah. It's also funny because, like, as a kid who played youth softball, we were always told 90% mental. The game's 90% mental. And then it's like, that's what mental health is. Like, that's then we should have 90% of the resources of the baseball team towards your mental.
Right.
And it felt like it was took a while for sports to go like, oh, we also have to care about their brains.
Right.
Some sports you could argue still don't. But it's good to see baseball
doing better. Doing better. Yeah.
Good. Okay, cool. Thank you for coming here today.
Thank you for having me.
This was very cool.
Yeah.
And now you're friends with my fiance and I, which means
both of you guys.
If there's a wedding, I think you're coming. So
thank you.
Get ready.
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay, everybody, that's it for Casuals for the week. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to email us, casualswithkatienolan@gmail.com. You can call us 646-801-0043, or you can comment on IG and TikTok @Casuals, the podcast. We will see you back here on Tuesday. We love you, and we mean it.